OK, let's talk about these. They can be creative, addictive and fun, but a new report is warning that online games containing advertisements could influence the food choices that our children make.
Researchers at the University of Bath have told the BBC that social media and online apps are targeting children to advertise foods that are high in salt, sugar and fat.
Let's talk to one of the report's authors, Dr. Haiming Hang from the University of Bath, and Dan Sodergren, a social market specialist. Welcome to you both.
Hi.
Hi.
OK, so let's talk, Dr. Haiming, about this report. Are you surprised to see that online gamers have actually clocked onto this? Because surely it's the perfect market, isn't it?
Yes, I mean, our research suggests that advert games have become increasingly popular for the past few years because of tighter regulation on mass media. So it's not a surprise that a lot of the food manufacturers try to explore a regulatory loophole by selling junk food via advert games.
So should there be warnings?
Yes, we think so. Based on our research, we suggest, first of all, children don't understand, as old as 15, don't understand advert games. Actually, it's one type of advertising.
So what, they believe that they log on, say, to a branded game and they think it's just... Or is it more a case that the game has little inserts of brands in it? Basically,
those advert games are on, for example, on social media like Facebook or on company website or sometimes on downloadable mobile phone device. So children can play as long as they want. And research suggests that after playing advert games, if you ask children what you have played, they will just say a game. They don't think advert games is one type of advertising. So we just try to argue that children are unfairly influenced by exposed to commercial message embedded in advert game. But more importantly, majority of research has found that children can't remember being exposed to the brand logos, brand names in advert games, but their brand preference, brand choices, or even eating habits can be changed by advert games.
And Dan Sodergren, it's something that many people may not be aware of, and perhaps that's its sort of strength, really. It's hidden marketing strategies. Is that the way you see it?
Well, the thing is, at the moment, I'm on both sides really, because I'm a concerned parent myself, because I've got a little 3.5-year-old called Mia back at home. So I understand where the parents are coming from with this. It is a very, very powerful marketing, you were saying, maybe tactic. I think the only problem that I've got with it is we're kind of almost over-regulating here, I think, a little bit. You know, hasn't it got to go back a bit more to the parents and parental power? You know, and also, isn't there a large difference between, a 3-year-old look at this and a 13-year-old, and are we being a little bit... Do they really not know that they're adverts when they're so heavily branded? Hold
on, when you go to a supermarket, I mean, supermarkets have been slammed for putting sweets at the counter, haven't they? And parents saying, look, I don't want my children begging me for sweets or pestering me for sweets.
Pester power, absolutely.
Pester power, exactly. And this is what's happening now, isn't it? It's coming into online games, and parents don't have control over this because they want their children to play.
That's the key. That's the big thing. It's not just coming in now. It's a very, very old thing. And if you think about gaming, what happens really is, think about the old, like Kellogg's or other brands that had their lovely games on the back, like the word searches, etc. We used to play those games when I was a kid. Now that's moved into mobile. Now some of these websites, the games are as innocent as word searches and things like that. Now I'm a little bit concerned that we're kind of slamming them for actually having interactivity in their websites. Their websites are their own private property in some respects, aren't they? If you go
currently there's no... Yeah, sorry. Could I just say, currently there's no clear regulations on advert games at all.
Right.
So first, this is not like, say, TV advertising. There's very clear regulation about what should be advertised, what shouldn't be advertised. But for advert games, what we have found is that currently advert games are heavily used by food manufacturers to promote junk food.
And so is your idea that maybe there's some kind of little, like a little pop-up that comes up and says, warning, this is an advert?
In our report, which will be formally published on Monday, we try to call for emergent or immediately clear and uniform labelling system, just to inform children when they play advert games, they will be exposed to certain type of commercial messages.
So you don't think that the legislation exists at the moment, or that the correct checks and balances are in place?
No regulation at all. No regulation at all.
So basically what we're saying is that mobile advertising games are very powerful. Therefore, we should have some kind of labelling when they start the experience.
Yes.
And a bit like product placement, I imagine, that you might see before certain films that you might watch.
But
like that?
Yes, but what is more concerning, as we have highlighted in the report, is children are influenced by those commercial messages outside their conscious awareness. So, in other words, children basically can't cope with persuasive intent embedded in advert games.
But all good marketing is subconscious, isn't it? In
But
some
I
respects.
think
That's the
that
point, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm
one of
totally
the
on
things
side with
being
that.
picked up on, though, is that children as old as 15, you mentioned,
Yes, that's true.
aren't aware that they're being advertised to or being sent these messages. So they're not. So children as young as 3, you would believe, I'm presuming as a parent, you would like to have some influence over them and tell them that this is an advertisement. But by 15, you'd expect a child to know, and they don't.
Well, is that, again, going back to parental power, is that something that we've got to start having those conversations with our own children about? But maybe the generation before, we never spoke about this. But now, actually, it's kind of part of my job as a parent to tell my child, actually, when you play these freemium games, don't rack up, you're going to have in... Because you remember a bit ago, we all started worrying about the in-app purchases that we're all making.
Caught a lot of people
Again, this is the problem. We have scapegoats, and all the time we blame someone else. But actually, it could be to the parents. You've got to have education coming from parents down to their children as well.
My point would be, if parents can understand, for example, the differences between advert games and the normal games, then, yeah, parents can play a key role in that. But currently, our research suggests parents, as well as children, can't understand, say, advert games containing commercial messages.
So they don't even the adverts work even for older people and for parents.
Yeah,
My
sometimes,
God.
yeah.
All right, we'll pick this up a bit later on. Thank you very much indeed.
Thanks
Good
very
to
much.
talk
You're
to you.
coming back in a couple of
Interesting
hours.
stuff.
We'll see you then.
See you.